Biology class 9. Good morning, students. Today again we will study the same chapter 5th, pollination and fertilization. So till the last session we had studied about pollination, the different types of pollination and their agents. So when pollination is accomplished means when the pollen grain reached to the stigma of the same flower, different flower or flowers of the different plant, then these pollen grains start germination. After germination, a pollen tube will form. This pollen tube reaches to the female gamete. Thus, in the ovary part, the male and female gametes fuse to each other, and this act is known as fertilization. So, what is fertilization? The fusion of male and female gamete is called fertilization. Today we will study about fertilization. See, what is fertilization? It is the union or fusion of the nuclei of male and female gametes. In flowering plant, the pollen grain produces two male gametes. The ovule inside the ovary produces the female gamete. So pollen grain contain male gametes, but the number is 2, and the female gamete present inside the ovule that is located inside the ovary. Now come to the pollen grains. The mature pollen grain is a cell with double wall, the outer exine and the inner intine. Its nucleus has already divided into a tube nucleus and a generative, that is male nucleus. At this stage, the pollen is transferred to stigma pollination. Further change in pollen grains occur only if it is fallen on the stigma plant of the same species. See the structure of pollen grain. So pollen grain is a cell with double wall. This is the inner wall called intine, and the outer wall is called exine. Its nucleus is divided into tube nucleus that is large in size. This is the tube nucleus and a generative male nucleus. So this is the male nucleus or generative nucleus. Clear all of you? Once more, outermost exine. This exine is very tough layer due to the deposition of a particular substance called sporopollenin. Means this exine protects the underlying structures with adverse climatic condition as well as bacterial decomposition. intine. An intine encloses two cells with two different nucleus, tube nucleus and the generative nucleus. When the pollen grain reaches to the stigma, when the pollen grain reaches to the stigma, the generative nucleus divide into two male gametes. Clear all of you? When the generative nucleus when the pollen grains reaches to the stigma, this generative nucleus divide into two male gametes. Clear all of you? Now come to the ovule that encloses that contain the female gamete. Ovule is the inner part of ovary. Ovule is destined to become the seed, and the ovary is become the fruit containing the seed inside. There may be a single ovule producing a single seeded fruit, or many ovules producing a many seeded fruit. Each ovule has one or two protective coverings, the integuments. The integuments leaves a small opening called the micropyle at one end for the entry of pollen tube. Enclosed by integument is the nucellus, a mass of food-laden cells, and further inside the nucellus is the embryo sac. The embryo sac contains 7 different cells, 3 plus 3 plus 1. 3 cells at the micropylar end, 1 egg cell and 2 synergids. 3 cells at opposite end called antipodal cells and 1 large central cell. The central cell contains 2 nuclei called pollen nuclei fused together. So, if we discuss about the number of cells, it has 7 cells. But when we discuss about the number of nucleus, it has 8 nucleus, because the central cell, here the central cell is 1, but this central cell contain 2 nuclei. So altogether this embryo sac contains 7 cells or 8 nucleus. Clear? Let's see the diagram. So this is the carpel that consists of stigma, style and ovary. An ovary contains ovule. This ovary develops into the fruit and ovule develop into the seed. If the number of ovule is single inside the ovary, the fruit will contain single seed, and if the number of ovules will be many, the fruit contain many seeds. Clear? Now we'll discuss the structure inside the ovary. So this is the ovary. Clear? This contain embryo sac or female gamete enclosed by two protective layers called integuments. So these are the two different layers of integuments. Integuments are the hard protective layer. Then it contains a layer of mass food laden cells called nucellus. So this is the nucellus. This nucellus contain food and this food provides nourishment to the developing embryo sac. So in the central region, it contains the embryo sac. Embryo sac contain 7 different cells. These three cells at one end are called antipodal cells. Then on towards the micropylar end, this is the micropylar end containing one minute pore known as micropylar pore through which pollen tube enter into the embryo sac. So micropylar end containing a small minute pore that provide the passage of entry of pollen tube into the embryo sac. So on towards the micropylar end, it contain one egg cell and two synergids. So these are the synergids and one egg cell. And in the center it possesses one central cell that contain two nucleus. So this is the polar nuclei. So altogether this embryo sac contain 3 antipodal cell, 1 egg cell, 2 synergids and 1 polar cell that contain 2 nucleus. Getting all of you? So this is the overall structure of the female gamete or the embryo sac. Clear? Okay. This entire structure is present inside one cavity known as ovarian cavity, through which and with the wall a structure is there that provide the attachment of the ovule to the ovarian wall, and this structure is known as placenta. Clear? Okay. Now come to the next point, germination of pollen grain. Pollen grain germinates only if it is fall on the stigma of the same plant species, otherwise it disintegrates. The pollen grain falling on the stigma is stimulated to germinate due to the secretion of sugar by the stigma through a point in the axine. Pollen tube grow out of the pollen grain, carrying at its tip the genitive nucleus and the tube nucleus. Genitive nucleus divide into two sperm nuclei, also called male gamete nuclei. Thus, in a germinating pollen grain, there are three nuclei which are not separated by cell wall. They share a common cytoplasm. The pollen tube grows through the stigma and style by dissolving the tissue with the help of enzyme and reaches the ovary. There it pushes through the micropylar and reaches the embryo sac. The tube nucleus, which had directed the growth of pollen tube all the way down, now disintegrate. Now the pollen tube enters one of the synergies and releases its two sperm nuclei. Of this, one sperm nucleus fused with the egg cell nucleus to form the zygote, while the other sperm nuclei move toward the two pollen nuclei in the central cell and fuse with them. The nuclei, three nuclei fuse together, triple fusion to produce the endosperm nuclei. Altogether, two fertilization has occurred, and hence the whole process is called double fertilization. Clear? Now see the figure. First, germination. So this is the stigma. When pollination is completed, the pollen grain reaches to the stigma. Clear? When the pollen grain reaches to the stigma As secretion from the stigma, it must be sugary secretion, is absorbed by the pollen grain. Once more, when the pollen grain reaches to the stigma, it receives a sugary secretion from the stigma and start swelling. Once more, see the structure of the pollen grain. This axine, see the outer wall or the axine. Here there are 2 points. I have this axine touch with the intine. Here sporopollen is not present. So this is the weak point, and this weak point is known as germ pore. And through this germ pore, a pollen tube will germinate. So when the pollen reaches to the stigma, it receives sugary secretion from the stigma and it produces a pollen tube. This pollen tube contains 3 nucleus, 2 main nuclei and 1 tube nuclei with a common cytoplasm. This is the pollen tube, and this pollen tube contains 3 nucleus, 2 main nuclei and 1 tube nuclei. So all the 3 nucleus are different, but they share a common cytoplasm. This tube nuclei guided the pathway of the pollen tube down to the ovule. Clear? So this is known as germination. Now what is fertilization? So this is the embryo sac, 2 synergids, 1 egg cell, 3 antipodal cell, 1 central cell contain 2 nucleus. Now this is the new cells around the embryo sac containing a mass of food-laden cells and the integuments. This is the placenta attached with the wall of the ovarian cavity. So when the pollen tube containing 2 main nuclei and tube nuclei, here tube nuclei will guide the passage of the pollen tube down towards the micropylar end. So here 2 main nuclei are present, and the generative nucleus, that is the tube nucleus, will disintegrate when the pollen tube reaches the micropylar end. Both the main nuclei will enter one of the 2 synergids. Here both the main nuclei will fertilize with the 2 different structures, one with the egg cell, that leads to the development of zygote, and the other main nuclei fertilize with the polar nuclei. Here there is a fertilization of 3 nucleus, so it is known as triple fusion, and triple fusion lead to the development of endosperm cell. Clear? Once more. First of all, the pollen grain reaches to the stigma. On reaching, it receives a sugary secretion, and due to the receiving of sugary secretion, starts swelling, and thus a pollen tube will form. This pollen tube contains 3 nucleus, 2 main nuclei and 1 tube nuclei with a common cytoplasm. This tube nuclei guide the passage of the pollen tube down towards the ovule. On reaching to the micropylar end, the tube nuclei will disintegrate and the pollen tube enters into the one of the 2 synergies. Here both the main nuclei will discharge in one of the 2 synergies, and out of both the synergy, both the egg cell, sorry, both the male nuclei, one male nuclei will fertilize with the egg cell to form zygote, and the other male nuclei fertilize with the pollen nuclei. Here there is a fusion of three nucleus, hence it is known as triple fusion, and this leads to the development of endosperm cell. So finally the conclusion is that after fertilization, two different types of cells are formed. One is endosperm cell and the other is zygote cell. Hence, altogether two fertilization have occurred, and hence the whole process is called double fertilization, because here there are two types of fertilization. Clear? So, what is double fertilization? One sperm nuclei fused with the egg cell nucleus. The other sperm nucleus fused with the two pollen nuclei of the central cell. So, fate of floral part after fertilization means what happens to other parts after fertilization. The petals stem out wither and generally fall off. The calyx may either fall off or may remain intact in a dried and shriveled form. Apple guava clearly shows such dried sepals. In brinjal, green calyx persists and remains attached to the ripe fruit. The ovary enlarged to form fruit, the ovarian wall forming the fruit wall. The ovary wall may either form a dry and hard fruit wall or fleshy fruit wall. Ovule becomes the seed. The fruit contains one or more seeds which are developed from one or more ovules attached to the ovary by means of placenta. When the fruit is ripe, the seed contained inside are released by one or other method, grow into a new plant in a suitable condition. So today this is the finishing, this is the end of the chapter, that is pollination and fertilization. All of you go through the book as well, listen or watch the video actively. Clear? Okay, bye all of you, have a good day.